So here's what I've come up with. Let's see here. We've got this one, this one, this one, and this one. Now these are all single colors. Single colors. For instance, this one is Lime Ice. This one here is Tamiya Green. This one here is Aqua Wave. And this one here is Kryptonic Gold. Okay. They're all backed with different colors. Some are backed with a white. I use a spastic white. No particular reason. Just the one that I bought. Pactra Silver. It's the one I backed the other silver with. And the Outlaw Black by Pactra is what I backed them with also. For instance, this Kryptonic Gold, it's the same color all the way across, except this one is backed in white, this one is in silver, and this one is in black. Hopefully, I'm holding it in the right place. You can see a tinge. Hopefully, you can see a tinge. Maybe if I move it just real slow or get it really, really close, maybe you'll be able to see a tinge. All of this, like I said, was backed in different things. This is backed in black, silver, and white. Same color. You'll notice that it says it's got a bronze look to it, but it also has a green tinge to it, so it goes from green to bronze. The next color I did was the Aqua Wave. Same thing. Backed in black, backed in silver, backed in white. So, black, silver, and white. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see the color change on it. With my luck, probably not. Tamiya Green, backed in black, silver, and white. And you notice that every one of these has a different look to it depending on what it's backed in. Okay? That would be this color here. The next one was the Lime Ice, back in black, silver, and white. Has a completely different look for each one. Hopefully you can see all the different colors. It's 3 different tints. It will come out looking a little different no matter what you back it with. As I did the other previous cars that I showed in my first video, my new RC paint jobs, I did a marbling effect on both of those cars and I like the look. And that's what I'm going to be using on this car also. So I did some marbling practicing also, just so I can see what these colors are going to look like done differently. All of these 3 here were using this color here with this color, and this color in different combinations, but every one of them have this color here. This one right here was done with the Lime Ice and the Tamiya Green. On this particular side I did the Lime Ice with the splotches. This one I did the Tamiya with the splotches and backed it with the Lime Ice. This one I backed with the Tamiya. So hopefully you will be able to see what that looks like. And this is the one that I believe I'm going to go with for the majority of my car body. The next one I did was this color here. Once again, the Tamiya Green, all of them are done with the Kryptonic Gold and the Tamiya Green. Same as the first one, each color is reversed in order. The first one here was Kryptonic Gold splotches with the solid Tamiya black background. This one was the Tamiya Green background with the solid Kryptonic Gold background. Hopefully you can see those colors. I'm hoping. Give it a little movement. Hopefully this is coming out pretty good. I hope it's covering most of the screen at this angle and it is in focus, I hope. Alright, so I did that one, and then of course I did the other one also. This is the same with the Tamiya green, and this time it's the Aqua Wave color in the splotches or the background. Same thing, just reversed. This one, Aqua Wave solid background, Tamiya green splotches. This one, Tamiya green solid background with the Aqua Wave splotches. All right. I believe what I've gone with, what I think I'm going to go with for the dragon stencil is I'm going to use a marbling effect, and this is the one I believe I like. So I'm going to have this as the dragon, and the rest of the car is going to look like this one right here. With regards to the side logo that it's going to have, which is this one right here, of course. Like I said, it's reverse lettering because of the way that I lay the stencils on the car and cut them out. The sword is going to be all silver, all the metal parts of the sword. All of the blades here are going to have little accents. This is something I haven't tried yet, but what I'm going to try to do is try to make some little thin cut, little scratches along the blade angles and stuff like that, you know, where the metal is grind down to give it the sharp look, where you see that transition. It's going to be like a shadowing effect for all that. The hilt, it appears to be made out of dragon claws, so they are essentially going to be this same color here. I don't know how well that's going to come out with the marbling effect. Same thing with the end ball of the hilt. The handle is going to be, I'm not sure. I'm thinking about maybe going with a red or a purple maybe. Also too, I'm going to scratch the paint off once I paint it, and scratch little scratches in it with my X-Acto knife and just kind of give it a splotch of black to give it that wrapped handle look. The lettering, I'm thinking about going with the lettering is maybe giving it a little black on the outer edges, on the tops and the bottoms, and then red through the majority of the center. That's what I'm hoping to do. Like I said, this is only going to be the third car I've ever painted. Same thing with this one here, the opposite side. Also too, I wanted to point out that, let me grab these back here. You notice this one here says Dragon Slayer and the sword is pointing towards the front. So if I flip that over and put it on the other side, the sword would be facing towards the back. So when I created these on my internet, on my computer, what I did was I reversed it. So that way when I lay this one on the front, it will actually say Dragon Slayer and the sword will be pointing to the front as the other one is. The little guy that I'm calling the AKA the Slayer himself is going to be this little dude here. Right there. I'm thinking about doing his hair and everything in gold, the outline of his eyes, the little teardrop speck that drops down from that eye I may do in a black, and his eyes, the pupils themselves, I may do in a red. Okay, and I already told you where that little guy is going to go. The thing to do now is, now that I've experimented with my paints and I've chosen the right colors and the right way that I'm going to do it, and I know what exact result I'm going to get because I did practice. Also wanted to point out that, I don't know if you noticed or not, but these are done with Slurpee lids. I went to my local convenience store where I frequent very often, and I asked one of the employees there if I could grab some Slurpee cup lids, and he said, yeah, go for it. So I grabbed about 9 or 10 of them, cut them into thirds, and that's what I used. It's cheap, it's free. Matter of fact, don't have to pay nothing for it. The most expensive thing you pay for it is thank you. And you get a lot of things with politeness, being polite, asking. Don't just walk in and take them, guys. You know, these people have a job to do, and that product does cost some money. So either, you know, I offered to pay for them myself. They said, no, just go ahead and take them. So thank you. Props to my local convenience store. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get into cutting this image out. And we're going to use our X-Acto knife, and make sure you have a sharp blade. Okay? You don't want to apply a lot of pressure because you really don't want to score your truck up too much. So try to be as gentle as you can. Granted, it's kind of hard to feel with such a sharp blade and such a thin layer. Am I really cutting through it? Believe me, you are. You're cutting through it. It's very thin. Man, maybe a couple of hundredths of an inch. It's pretty thin stuff. It goes on as a liquid, dries. You'll see slivers of it when I'm pulling it off, peeling it back. Also, I wanted to make a note that the eye is going to probably be, I'm trying to think, maybe gold with a black pupil, and then maybe scratching lines in it to give the effect of the iris, and maybe doing it in red. Okay, so let's get on to doing that. Of course, the older you get, the more you have to rely on glasses, and I rely on them heavily, unfortunately. Not that I can't see, but when you're trying to see this close to your face, the older you get, the further away it has to be. Some of you may relate to that. So I'll get in and I will cut out my stencil, trim it all out. I won't peel off anything until I'm completely done trimming it all out. That way when I trim it out, I avoid touching any other part of it. Remember, we have to keep that surface clean. As you saw me before I laid down this Parma mask, I wiped it down with alcohol, so I knew it would be clean. And I want to keep it that way, so that way I know my paint will stick very well. Alright? Okay, so let's get started, I guess. Alright, so here we go. Let's start trimming out our design.
take a shower.
Okay. Okay, so I've cut out all the design. I'm going to start to peel it out. I think what I'm going to end up doing is masking off the rest of the body with some tape and some paper, then peeling off the mask. That way I don't risk any dust or anything falling on it, or touching it with my fingerprints and leaving a grease mark so the paint doesn't stick. So I'll do that. I'm not going to do that on camera. There's no point in you seeing. You can see the end result. We'll start shooting again once I start peeling off the masking so I can start painting. Alright, so we'll see you here in just a second. Okay, so now what we're going to do, I've already taped off the rest of the car and got everything protected that I don't want to paint. Now what I'm going to do is proceed to peel off the masking. What you want to do is just grab it by a little corner. Let's see if we can get that in the shot there. And start peeling it away. Once you get it up, you can grab it with your fingers. Just remember, try not to touch the surface itself. You don't want any fingerprints or anything to touch it. Alright, so as you can see, that stuff is it's pretty thin. Doesn't take much to cut through it. That's 3 coats and it's still pretty thin. So I'll finish taking all this off and then we will proceed to paint. Okay, so we have it all removed. Hopefully you'll be able to see the difference where it's shiny compared to where the masking is still left on. Now we're going to go outside and we're going to proceed to paint our design here. What I want you to do is I want you to make pay real close attention, like this little spot right here. Still had a little bit of mask on it. So you just want to make sure that your surface is clean and free. While you're cutting this out, you also want to make sure that everywhere your corners meet or anything like that, you want to make sure that you actually got to the other cut that's there. Sometimes in different types of lighting it's really hard to tell where you're cutting at. You may have to move it around a little bit so you can see the cut mark, just to make sure that every cut meets, because as you start peeling it up, if they're not meeting and the piece isn't correctly cut out, well then you'll start peeling part of the mask that you don't want to be painted. Other than that, I guess what we'll do is we are going to go outside and start painting. Make sure I got everything here. Looks like I do. Yep, looks like I do. Alright, so we'll proceed to paint, and I'll demonstrate how I do the marble effect. I am going to be doing this sitting down because I only have two hands, and I'll be outside on the porch doing this. You don't want to paint obviously inside the house unless you got some real good ventilation. I don't use a mask because I don't have one, so I paint outside where I've got plenty of fresh air. So we'll go outside and we'll proceed to paint.